Are you excited to see some animals?
Okay.
Yeah. Come with us on a 5-day adventure to Universal Studios, Disney Springs, and Disney World. We first arrived to our beautiful Airbnb, and oh, I forgot to mention, we were traveling with 12 adults and 16 children. We had several different themed rooms in this Airbnb, including Star Wars, Mario and Luigi, and even a Mickey Mouse theme room. They had really cute old cartoon for the wallpaper, and it was just such a cute little sight to see, and it brought back a lot of memories. There was also plenty of gathering space, and the best part is that they turned their old garage into a voice studio, like the TV show, and there were spinning chairs, video games, an air hockey table, and the best part was that the kids kept putting different music videos up on the TV and had major dance parties with all 16 of them, which was really cute to watch. Our first 2 days of adventure were in Universal Studios. One of the days was at the regular Universal Studios, and the next day was at Islands of Adventures. Looking around at Disney and Universal, I'm always so surprised to really look at the architecture. It is absolutely stunning, and they really pay attention to every single little detail. Now, I had been to Disney several times growing up since my grandparents lived near there, but I had never been to Universal, and I honestly think I like it a little better than Disney, and maybe I'm just a little biased because it was my first time, but it just brought back a lot of memories of a lot of different TV shows and movies that I liked growing up. They had this really cool ride for kids of all ages where you literally stood on like a conveyor belt, and you had these little guns that you got to hold, and you got to shoot the different things that were popping up on the screen. And since our son had just turned 2 a couple months ago, it's rare to find rides that he can get on, and so Disney and Universal were great options for him to be able to participate quite a bit. One of the highlights of this day was meeting Shrek and Donkey. I'm just going to let you listen to this because this was priceless. Give him a high five!
What's that?
You want to give him a hug?
Yeah, give him a hug.
High five?
Nope.
He's a little shaky, but you
Give him a high five, buddy!
bring it in.
He's like,
There
I'm not
you
touching
go.
Shrek. He's like, you want me in your bed for the next 10 years?
You guys want to get closer?
There you
What's
go.
his name?
Easton.
Easton?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, Easton? Hi,
What do you
Easton.
think, buddy?
I know, this is freaky, isn't it? Yeah, you did not have this on your bingo card, did you? I know Easton. Where's Easton from?
Missouri.
Ooh, the show me state. Oh, don't show me. I don't want to see it, Easton.
We also got to see Scooby and Shaggy, and this actor did a pretty good job.
You all look beautiful. Goodbye. I like the hair.
Oh, and before I forget, the food here was absolutely incredible. Now, my favorite part of the entire day was these beat builders. It reminded me a lot of Stomp, and I loved Stomp when I was growing up, so to see them make music out of just basic equipment was really fascinating to see. Check it out.
Need some help? Yep. Hey, Romano, go home. Yep, coming your way. Oh, got it. Hey. Woo! What?
If you want to see the beat builders call my husband up on stage, go to my channel and find that video. It's pretty comical. Now, I've seen a million Disney parades, but since this was my first time at Universal, I was really looking forward to seeing this parade to see if it lived up to its expectations, and it definitely did. They had everybody from Trolls to E.T. to Sing, anyone you can imagine, they were represented in this parade. Our son had an absolute blast, and honestly just watching his facial expressions throughout the parade were absolutely adorable. Their crowds weren't too bad, so we were really up close and personal, and it was a really special experience for our entire family. And of course, I guess now I'm getting older, and while all of the kids were excited about Trolls and Sing, I was really excited to see E.T. After the parade, we saved the best ride for last, and it was the Jimmy Fallon ride. On this ride, we all sat in seats with little 3D goggles on, and we got to go with Jimmy Fallon to go on a race throughout New York City. Another moment of nostalgia for me was seeing Seuss Landing at Island of Adventures. I was in this little Dr. Seuss Seussical the Musical performance when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and ever since then I've been obsessed with Dr. Seuss and all of the songs that are in that musical. We were immediately greeted with a little playground and got to even see all these truffula trees. The playground was made for kids of all ages, and they had a lot of fun. They even had a Dr. Seuss performance where all the characters were singing and dancing, and our son got a front row seat, and he was just absolutely mesmerized throughout the entire thing. He cracked me up throughout this entire experience meeting the characters because he would get really close and think about giving them a high five, and then he would turn around and run and wait for me. As much as he cracks me up wanting to talk to strangers, he definitely did not want to talk to these ones. Seuss Landing was just so gorgeous. Again, they thought about every little detail in this place, and we even got to ride a One Fish, Two Fish ride. It was funny because he probably got closer to Sam I Am than any of the other characters because I guess he looks a little bit more human than the rest of them. There was even a little train ride that he wasn't quite tall enough to be on yet, but next time we go I'm sure he will be. There was also a really cute carousel that he loved. While Island of Adventures had a lot of the big kid rides, something else that was really fun for our toddler was this playground. This playground was absolutely stunning. There was netting everywhere to climb on, and he could have stayed there all day if we let him. And there were even a bunch of slides that he got to go on as well. If I have a tip for anybody, it's if you're going to Orlando to visit these parks for 5 days, take a break in the middle. 2 days after Universal, we were thankful to schedule a break before we conquered Disney World, and we spent this time at Disney Springs. We all slept in and got well rested and then visited this massive shopping center. Probably my favorite part of this is visiting the Coca-Cola store where we got to go to their rooftop soda bar, and we had a flight that were different Coca-Colas from all over the world. Another fan favorite was the Lego store. They had this massive Lego dragon that was literally coming in and out of the lake, and our son got to try to drive this Lego car, but he needs to be a little bit older for that. We then decided to conquer Animal Kingdom. Prior to this trip, Animal Kingdom was the only park that I had never been to before, and it was a really pleasant surprise. It kind of felt like part of it was a zoo, part of it was a safari, and the other part was an amusement park. He was cracking me up walking through all these lines with his little Mickey Mouse ears on, and he's just getting to be such a big kid. One of our son's favorite parts was getting to ride this safari ride where we got to see a bunch of animals up close and personal. After the safari ride, we got on some more rides, which our son absolutely loved. It cracks me up because so many of the rides are similar where you're just riding in circles and moving up and down, but he loved every single one of them like he had never done it before. He even put his hands up in the air and he started saying "we" because he sees all of the adults doing that on the bigger rides.
Ethan, go give him a hug.
He got to meet even more characters, and he was cracking me up because he was not a huge fan of Donald Duck for whatever reason. We were traveling with such a big group that we would literally take up the entire ride on several different rides, and whenever they asked us how big our group was and we said 28, they didn't believe us. We then ended the trip in Magic Kingdom, and I'm honest, I didn't take a whole lot of pictures and videos because I tried to just embrace our last day there, but the fireworks show was absolutely to die for, and it was so much fun singing songs that I grew up with as a kid with my little nieces and nephews that are learning the songs too. And even though I didn't take any videos once the fireworks began, I took this stunning photo to share with you guys because, wow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to see where we're off to next.